Hello, and welcome to another lesson with Professor Checo. All right, pre-calculus, here we are. We are looking at our next homework assignment, 3.1, Simple Interest. All right, let's take a quick preview into what this is going to look like. So we have 29 questions. Awesome. Opening up question number 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at the textbook. All right, simple interest. The simple interest formula is used in short terms, often for durations of less than 1 year. Concept of simple interest, however, performs basics. So you have our principal, we have our interest, we have our interest rate, and we have the simple interest formula, which is interest equals principal times the rate times time, where the rate must be written as a decimal. So if it's 12%, that'd be 0.12. Okay, simple interest is to find out if you want to look for the total, you would add it back to the principal, which is just the principal plus 1 plus rate times time. And then our next formula should be if it's compounded monthly. I'm moving on. Hold on. Alright, interest rate. Here it's 270 days, so the time is just going to be a fraction out of 360. Solving for R, working backwards, permission. Alright, just looking at some examples. We're just going to be plugging it in a bunch of times. Conceptual insight, the commission schedule, between certain amount of products. So pretty much all going to be very equation based. So based off of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Desmos right over here along with this, because I'm going to use so much of this in terms of the calculator. Okay. So first, sales tax in Texas is 8%. Find the tax charge on a purchase of 29. So that would be 29.09 times our 0.0825, which means that they would have charged $2 and looks like 40 cents in interest. Cool. All right. I'm not going to go over that question. Very straightforward. Write this as a decimal. I'm hoping that's 0.063. Yeah, very straightforward. Cool. Write that percent as a decimal. You guys got that. Convert the given time period, 360 days. So that would be a fraction, right? So 40 days out of would be how many years? Wouldn't that just be 40 divided by 360? I gotta simplify it. So that's 4 over 36, which I think is at 1/9. 1 divided by 9. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to do that. That's very simple. Convert 3 months into a year, 3 quarters into years. Here, find the interest rate. So I'm going to do equals PRT. And I'm going to say that P equals 200. I'm going to say that the R equals 0.07. And then I'm going to say T equals 5. There we go. So this would be $70. Now the cool part about this is now if like this small things, I gotta work backwards. Was it 6%? And then my months would be 3 out of 12 for the year. And then that means my principal I want this to be $36. Yeah, write the equation, solve backwards, right? I'm sure that's what they do, but it's going to be $2,400, and that's just using Desmos to, yep, cool. Okay. Same question, this is working with the rate, solving for the rate, this is going to be solving for the T, this is going to be using the formula, find the indicated quantity, perfect, just plug it in, right? So here, my principal is 4,500, my rate is 11%, and my time would be 3 years. Right. So now if they're looking for A, I know that the interest rate is going to be 1,480, but I would add that to the 4,500, which would give me $5,985. 4,500 is my principal. My rate is 11%. A equals 89, right? 5895 5895. Three quarters. Does that mean that t would be 3 divided by 4? Sneaky people. Which would give me 371 plus 4,500 would be 48,371 to the nearest decimal point 25. What is the value of t? Oh, did I miss something up? Yeah, that's way too big. 4,000. I think I entered in an extra. That. There we go. Okay, 3 quarters. I gotcha. 3 quarters of a year. Alright, and again here, determine the present value P for your future value to be simple interest to have this. There's a few ways I could do this. I could just say that this is going to be, when is 4,000 equal to, what's P? My principal is the amount that I'm going to be investing, and my rate is going to be 0.145, and my time is going to be 26 weeks, which should be 26 out of 52. I think that's just half a year, right? Okay, and now we're looking to see when this, not 4,000, it's before 7,000. I don't think it plugged it in. It didn't. So then, if I just divide both sides by that, let's do divided by, what is that? 0.145 times a fraction, and my fraction is going to be 1/2. Only 6 out of 52. Determine the present value P. You must invest at a future value A at a simple interest rate R after time T. If I invest $7,000, let's go to view an example and see the formula they give us. Yeah, this formula. So 1 plus RT. Oh, it's 1 plus. Okay. So then what is, let's get rid of this. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's do 1 plus, what's my rate? 0.145 times 0.5, which gives me that number. And then it's going to be 7,000 divided by that number, which is my amount I'm trying to get, divided by 1.0725, which means that I should be investing that much into the bank. 626.01, I guess. 62526. Yep, there you go. Okay, so just really working backwards, guys. Desmos is very helpful. Alright, find the principal P is borrowed on a future loan. Determine the simple interest rate R to the nearest 10%. So here you want your amount annualized to be that. So you would just work backwards from here to find out what the rate is. Cool. Using the formula, find the indicated quantity. Plug in T. So I think this is pretty straightforward. You're looking to see when your principal from up $730 at an interest rate of 15 years. 15% is going to be $1,100. Solve for A equals GMT for T. Divide both sides by GM. A over GM. Yeah, easy. Alright, moving on. Solve for B. You would factor out a B from both terms and then divide by What is that going to be? A divided by, what do they both have in term? That's a 2D plus 2C. Let's do a parentheses 2D plus 2C, something like that. Yep. Okay, so using the simple interest formula, solve for the indicated variable, solve for R. Divide by P minus 1 divided by R, or divide by T, sorry. Yep. Find the interest of the following loan, $130 at 8% and for 3 months. How much interest will you have to pay for a credit card balance of $968 that is 1 month overdue if 16% annual? Okay. Yeah, so 1 month on $900, 16%. Everything's here. Just plug it in. A loan of $16,000 was repaid at the end of 13 months with what size repayment check? Principal and interest was written if 11% annual rate. Yeah. So this is going to be 12 out of 13 for your time, your principal, your interest rate. Find how much I was owed. Straightforward. If you paid $58 to a loan company for the use of that, what annual interest rate did you charge? So you just set this is equal to your I equals PRT, and your T is just going to be 110 out of 360. So here, the first thing that you would do is you would do 58 divided by that number, 1694, and then you get that, right? Once you have that, you would divide that by parentheses 110 divided by 360 year. Nope. And then I could just hit enter, and that's going to be 11%. So it was 11.205%. So you're just taking the interest. Yep, working with the formula I equals PRT. Sorry. Radio commercial, 27 cents for each day of $1,000 borrowed. If you are borrowing that, what amount will you pay? Okay, so radio commercial for a loan states that you only pay 27 cents a day for each $500 borrowed. If you borrow $2,621 for 229 days, what amount will you pay? And what annual interest rate is the company actually charging? So let's go through this. This one looks like a little confusing. Word problems always are. Okay, so you pay 27 cents each day, right? So this is going to be an daily interest rate. For each $500 borrowed. If you borrow, so let's do 2601 divided by 500. That gives us 5.202 times 27. So that's how much we're paying per day. We're paying 140.45 cents. Okay. If you borrowed that for that, what amount will you repay? And what annual interest rate is the company actually charging? Okay. So right now this is how much it's per day, correct? They charge us $1.40 per day. Now what is that times 360? Control copy, Control V times 360 is how much you are going to be but you're not doing that. You're doing this times 229. Right? Yeah. So that's going to be $321. Amount you would pay 321.63 plus 2601. So I think we would pay back 292. Dang. 2922.63. I think that's what it would charge us. Do not round your calculations until the end. 292263. Alright, let me follow this one more time. You pay 27 cents a day for each. Let me see if I view an example. Did I go right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, first you gotta find the amount times 0.24. I did that. I did the 2600 divided by 5 gave me 5.2. You multiply that by the 24 cents. And I got 100. Mine was 140. So mine was $1.40. Should I have moved that over? So should that have been $1.40? Would have been $330. No, I put in too many, right? 100, 140. So when 300, yeah, I did that right. 364. Oh, I swear to God, if I had to solve by one decimal, I'm gonna be so mad. Okay. I took this number times the number of days, correct, to find the total amount that we will repay. If I was off by a decimal, I'm gonna be so upset with this. Oh my God, that hurts. Ladies and gentlemen, that hurts. Wow. Wow, I was off by a decimal. Okay. Find the annual interest rate. Wow, I can't believe I was off by a decimal. I'm marking you wrong. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna view the example just to see, so I don't waste my time because I'm a little frustrated right now. That kind of was annoying. All right, so let's use the actual charging. The interest, use the formula I equals 69. Oh, and then just solve for R. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna plug it in and work backwards. So now that we know that our interest rate, our interest was 321. What is that gonna be? 321.63. First, it gets divided by the principal, which was 26.2601, which gives me that, and then I'm going to take that number, multiply, and then divide it. Oh, how do I do the answer? How do I do answer? 2601. I want this answer. And I wanted that to be divided by my dates, which is 229, oops, parentheses, 229 divided by 360. And 19%. So let's say we go with 19.4394. 0.4394. I'm just gonna 229 out of 3. I'm gonna hit enter because I'm guessing I'm off by the smallest decimal. Yep, look at that. I didn't round until the end. 321. Oh, stupid. That's why. And then that would have changed that answer by the slightest. And then that would have changed that answer by the slightest. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, at least I went through the trouble and now you guys know what to do. Alright, so what is the purchase price of a 50-day T-bill with a maternity value of $1,640 that earns an annual interest rate of that? So then I think that's just going to be the principal, which is going to be 1644 times the rate, which is going to be 0.05036, and then it's going to be 50 days, so it'd be times 50 divided by 360, and it should be Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to be our division sign. So then we're going to do a parentheses right there. And I'm going to divide both sides by that. Divided by Control V. That times 0.05 principal A equals P RT. What is the purchasing price of a 50-day with a maturity of 60 that earns an annual interest rate of 5.6? I thought I did this right. It's not 235,000. That's not right. View an example. Yes. I did all this. Did I not do this? Oh, it's 1 plus. So if I do 1 plus, okay, there it is. So there I fixed it. So the purchasing price should be the 1632. Oh, typed it too much. 0.58. There we go. Cool. All right. So the minimum payment on an unpaid balance of that, assume the minimum payment on the credit card is the greater of 30 or 2% of the entire paid. So first, let's find out what the 2% of it is. So that's gonna be 576.36 times 0.02, which gives us $11. So since the $30 or 11 is the greater of the two, so we're gonna have to go with $30. Okay, so for the services rendered, how many questions do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. For the services rendered, an attorney accepts a 120-day note for that from the client. Both interest and principal are repaid at the end of the 120 days. Wishing to use her money sooner, the attorney sells the note to a third party for that. At that, what annual interest rate will the third party receive for her investment? Oh my goodness. So basically, we need to figure out what the interest is in that period. Let's talk about this. I think we can agree. If they're selling it after 30 days, we have 90 days. So let's see how much she is. Okay. If we do a simple interest rate, so a 4,700 at 0.07, and our time is going to be 120. Oh, I gotta do a fraction. 120 divided by 360. Okay. So now there is the interest made on the initial. All right. And then if we put 4770, I got that. I'm just not sure what so in order to find the interest rate, the formula related to A is there. So in this case, the total return for the note A is unknown. Identify the value for P. Well, P is going to be 3,500 in this case because that's how much they're starting with. Identify the value. Identify the time, 90 days. So here they're starting with 90 and ending with 30. Okay, so then they find the interest rate, and they find out that this 3,500, right, should be worth 35.7. So if I just do with this 1 plus like that, and now I know that I need one more. That's going to go right there. Okay, so now this is going to be 1600. So on my one plus rate time, there it goes. There we go. So the 4700 is going to be worth 4809. I got that. I figured that out. I got that. The future value of the note of the third party is the total value of the note, which was found to be that. The principal is the amount of the principal. $60 days. Okay, this is what where do these numbers come from? This is the selling price, this is the total price. Okay, I got it. Okay, so now this is going to be the total price, 0.67 is going to be equal to the selling price, which was 4770. Oh, I got 4770, and then it's 1 plus the rate times time, which is going to be oh, we don't know the rate, but I do know the time is going to be for 90 days. So that's going to be 90 out of 360, right? Well, obviously there's an R here. So then the first step is going to be to divide both sides by that, minus 1, and then, so we got to do 4809.67 divided by 4770, which gives me that number. I'm going to take that number minus 1, so that's going to be, let's just do control copy, control V, minus 1 to give me that number, control copy, control V, take that, and then divide it by parentheses 90 over 360, and then with that number I get a 3%. So what is that going to be? It's going to be 3.327, around 2 decimal places. So 3.33. Cool. And that's how you figure out the interest rate that the person is making. All right. Use the commission schedule from the company A shown below to find the actual annual rate. Okay, so an investor purchases 277 shares at $11.55 a share, holds the stock for 31 weeks, and then sells the stock for $21.11 a share. So here the question is just obviously just plugging it all into this, what we were basically just doing, which was right here, and I'll just clean this up. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. So here, the investor purchased 277 shares at $11.51 a share. So let's go with 11. No, it says principal. Principal, he would do 21.11, and then the initial was 11.55. 31 gives me 31 over 360, 31, oh no, 52, because there are 52 weeks in a month. I think everything right there is correct. Now if I just change this and I make this Y, I think when I go the annual return rate, so let's say that it's 105 decimal places. Oh my goodness. Let me see if x equals 0. Can I get a... I think I just have to do it backwards. Yeah, I gotta do it backwards. It's gonna be the easiest. So let's do 21.11 divided by 11.55. Take this answer minus 1. This answer divided by my fraction is going to be 31 over 52. So my interest rate is this. So that's going to put that right there. Obviously it's 138% because you're making money, so it's going to be greater than 100. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Delete everything after it, hit enter. This is right when converting from a decimal to a percentage. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to see how we're 125. Wasn't that far off. The annual return rate. Where did I mess up? View an example. Let's see. Thought I had everything. Find the cost of the stock by multiplying the purchase price for the share. Oh, they just knew it'd be more accurate if I would have done it with the money. It's annoying. Okay, so everything here was correct. I just need to multiply $21 to get the actual price of each stock. I guess that's... Alright, that should be actually pretty easy. So what's 21.11 times 277 is this. So 21 is my sale price. And then what was this price? This price was $11.55. So I managed to take 31.9. That's not gonna... What was the answer? No, I still got 138. So now I'm gonna take... I think I could just do it like this. So let's do the 5847.47 divided by the 3199.35 to get that answer, which is the same exact answer as that. That minus 1 gave me that. That divided by 31. No, I think I did everything right then. Okay. Oh my goodness. Commissions are... I don't understand the commissions. The principal referred to in the table of the commissions is the value of the stock, either the time of purchase or time of sale. The principal referred to in the definition box is the total cost for the investor, which is the cost of the stock plus the cost of the purchase commission. Oh my goodness, I did not do this. So find this cost of the stock by multiplying the purchasing price of the shares by the number of shares purchased. I got that, and I got that. Since the value of the stock is under 3,000, the first line of the commission stays. So that means is 25 plus 1.8% of that, which gives me 46. Find the total cost of investing by adding the cost to the stock. So then you add that plus that and you get that. Okay. When the stock is sold, the commission is subtracted from the proceeds of the sale and the remainder is returned to the investor. So then here you do the same exact thing, find the price. Since it's over, you take that 63 and you subtract it from the total return. Oh my god, this is so like accurate to business. I didn't think that this question went like that. Okay. Alright, and we have to use the formula. Everything else is exactly the same. I just have my two numbers wrong. My principles are off. My goodness. So to find... Okay. So yeah, literally everything here is absolutely correct except my two numbers, my 58,400 and the 3199 needs to have an additional $25 plus 18%, and then this one would also, because it's between 3 and 10,000, would also, oh no, they would both fall into this 34 to $7 and plus that of the principal. Okay, I blame being frustrated from that last problem. All right, this one's tricky. Go through it slowly, and you'll be able to get it. All right, many tax preparation films for the clients. What is the annual return of the investment for this loan? Is it the same exact thing like the last one? I think so. Okay. Schedule on table to the right. Use schedule. And I'm gonna go to view an example. So here you have the interest rate. To find the interest rate over time, find the problem. You have this. You have to convert it into years. Use our interest formula. Plug that into the equation. 4 decimal places. You get to divide both sides. You find roughly for that percent. Convert that into a decimal. Oh, that's pretty simple. All right, you saw the view an example for the win. Last question. The unpaid balance at the start of 30-day billing cycle was $821. The purchase of that was made on day 17. No payment was made during the billing cycle, and late fee of that was charged on court on the account on day 25. Find the unpaid balance at the end of the billing cycle. Assume the annual interest rate. This is going to be like 15 steps, so I'm just going to go to the view an example. Okay, so first we got to calculate the average daily balance. The first step is determine the unpaid balance at each billing cycle. So on day 12, a purchase of that was made. Calculate the balance at the end of the day. Notice at the end of that, and it tells you what to do. You add that fee. Then you got to multiply each one times that. Boom. You get to recall the interest rate, convert that into a decimal. Ladies and gentlemen, just follow it. Looks very straightforward. I'm just extremely frustrated over that last question where I was off by a decimal. I'm still sour about that. With that, I wish you all the best of luck on our homework 3.1 Simple Interest.